now has finished this expansion, and TeD hasn't yet scouted it out. Obviously, TeD's just so good at scouting. I think he's sort of almost too confident in himself. And Grubby going for another expansion here, and this might be what his plan was, probably for this to be scouted, just so that TeD wouldn't be suspicious that there were no more expansion attempts. And TeD probably feels quite smug in himself, and that he keep on scouting out this expansion, completely unaware that there's this other one that's running. Really without his knowledge, and Grubby going to take down this crypt now. So obviously there is another crypt here, and there is a boneyard actually going up in the back of TeD's base, and that must mean there's a sacrificial pit. Yeah, there's a sacrificial pit here, which will a TP coming in, and actually Grubby losing a raider, but TeD managing to keep his crypt and altar alive. But a sacrificial pit will be very important for TeD, because it means that he could possibly scout out this expansion now. It depends exactly what he decides to do with his shades, but he could well scout them out, and he is building an acolyte now, so he will be putting he will have one shade in a couple of seconds. And Grubby coming possibly straight back into TeD's base has picked up a coda. Really, the aura is the best bit about it in this situation, because you can just do so much extra damage. Although he has picked up a second one as well, possibly because they're so easily focused down by fiends. And TeD coming close to the to scouting this out again, but doesn't quite get it. And this is some really lucky play there for Grubby. Grubby has bought a invuln pot and a scroll of healing, and where's the TC? TC does not have a TP actually. He does have a speed scroll though, and Grubby now taking down that crypt and the altar, and will be TPing away. But TeD probably gone for an aggressive TP, aggressive but not aggressive enough, or not he couldn't really get it aggressive enough. And TeD is meanwhile split off a couple of ghouls here just to take down this great hole, and again probably feeling very smug with himself that he keeps on managing to take these down. And the Unholy Aura really managed to allow TeD to catch up, and you can see TeD going straight for these kodos, and actually you can see TeD's going for sleep on the Torn Chieftain instead, just because he wants to avoid that stomp, because it's sort of really as good as the Blade Master's attack, and it is sort of sensible at times to actually disable the Torn Chieftain rather than the Blade Master. And Frost Armor now being used sort of on the Lich, and that's going to really reduce the damage output of those raiders. And I think TeD should really switch, or sorry, Grubby should really switch targets now. And TeD doing a really good job actually of taking down Grubby's units. Grubby now having sleep used on his Blade Master, and these ghouls obviously do a lot of damage to those raiders, and TeD does lose one ghoul there, but certainly that's not too terrible for him. And this one though raider looks like it might get away, and yeah it does, but the Torn Chieftain has now been surrounded as well. The Torn Chieftain actually being fought out, the Blade Master really helping there, and Grubby now losing his Torn Chieftain actually to a coil there from that Death Knight. Death Knight has enough mana for one more coil. The Death Knight is level 5 as well now, so he if there's any low units around, then he might get one more kill. That'd be really nice for him, and all he'd really need to do at that point would be to scout it out. TeD's actually left these goals here just to sort of pick up any remaining expansion, and one more Kodo is going to go down for Grubby there, and but the main gold mines have run out now, and you can see TeD actually has his acolytes here. If he brings them down to put them on this mine, then he might actually scout it out finally, and that would be really important for him. Grubby managing to revive his Torn Chieftain now. He does obviously have a fair bit of money from that secret expansion, and from being at 39 food, so he is at no upkeep, I beg your pardon, and level 3 now on that on the dreadlord as well as the lich, but level 2 sleep is just so useful because it's so low mana costs. And oh, that's really unfortunate there for TeD. His one frost worm gets caught out by raiders, and will go down. And that's really why you have to rally to your base when you're sort of so far away, and that's really unfortunate for him, and that could be a pretty costly thing for him. We'll have to see if he can even afford to build a second one. Maybe he'll sell some items, or just sell some buildings perhaps, in an attempt to build a second one, because one frost room could really change the course of a battle, especially against raiders and grunts. And TeD just going to continue to manage to take down units, so he did manage to take down a couple units there, and looks like TeD's putting all his acolytes into a sacrificial pit, just going to go for a whole bunch of shades. But Grubby does have this expansion up and running, and TeD's really none the wiser at this point. You have to think that at some point he's going to realise, because Grubby's continuing to build units, and TeD using a coil there to take down that last Kodo beast. And really, his TeD, if you think about it, TeD's just picked off so many units, even picked off the Torn Chieftain once, and there's really not much that Grubby's actually done about it. And the shade is now coming in and might finally scout out that expansion, and no, by the looks of it, it hasn't. I'm not sure. Oh, yes, TeD has now scouted it out. Definitely scouted it out there, and You can see he's immediately reacting. He must feel like such a prat at this point. Or he's probably looking at the gold mine and realised there's not much, or there's a whole bunch of gold gone. And what's really going to come down to is, was this too little, too late, or will he actually manage to pull it back after this sort of large economy disadvantage that he's been at? Less than 10,000 gold left in this mine now, and Grubby coming straight back in. Obviously, he's going to have a pillage on top of everything else, and TeD now really no protection for his Black Citadel. Will take a lot of damage on it, and needs to sort of keep it alive, and so that means that Grubby's expansion will continue to run for a bit longer while he reacts to this threat, but does manage to take down 2 raiders immediately. Sleep being used on that Blade Master. Blade Master does have almost 200 mana and an invuln pot though, so he's probably not going to go down, but he will be forced to use a Windwalk at least, and TeD does lose 1 gold before he gets out of there, and TeD looks like he's using the last of his gold to repair his Black Citadel. It's an interesting choice there. I guess he doesn't really have enough for another Fiend or something, but you think he could at least keep it for a bit later. Or he could sell some more buildings and then build one more unit or something, but I guess repairing it isn't sort of the worst thing he could do. And this Torrent Chieftain is now back out, has sort of 200 and so mana, so we'll have a couple Stomps in him, which is going to be very nice, but TeD will immediately, ooh no, he used the court at the last second there to save that Fiend, and you can see TeD used Sleep there just to keep that Torrent Chieftain from stomping for a little while. Torrent Chieftain already back at maximum mana, that's really nice, just from a nice use of that clarity there, and meanwhile, TeD did have a couple of goals picking off the peons, which is quite nice to do, but the Blade Master came in and did manage to take it down, and this Blade Master is now, actually, Blade Master has been surrounded now, no mana for a Windwalk, and so Grubby might lose his level 5 Blade Master. This would be just so bad. 1 crit coming out now, but a very nice surround. Rare that you see a 3-unit surround there, and very, very nicely played there by TeD, and this could be sort of the start of a comeback, really, because if you think about it, Grubby doesn't have any more income at this point, no expansion up, he is sort of long distance mining, but TeD's even scouted that out, but it's certainly going to take a while for him to get enough money to actually buy a Blade Master back, and looks like Grubby's going to be using Pillage to try and get enough gold to get his Blade Master back, and he is now coming in, he is now trying to take down his Black Citadel, no money left for TeD, so TeD will need to react as soon as possible, and you can see he isn't bothering to wait for his Lich or Dreadlord to come back up, he's immediately putting on the pressure here, and Grubby actually in a spot of bother here, because the Sleep being used on his Torrent Chieftain, and you can see that it's quite likely that he's just going to try and focus it down. Nice Stomp being used there though, a bit careless by TeD to actually leave his unit so close to that Torrent Chieftain when he knew that it had Stomp queuing up, and the Dreadlord actually no more mana for Sleep, and Lich no more mana for Nova, but Death Knight does have enough mana for one more coil, and looks like TeD's going to try and take out this expansion. Grubby was just bringing back peons now, so some really unfortunate timing there, and I wonder, TeD finally selling some buildings there. I think it's a bit too late, and TeD actually with a couple shades, he probably should just be cycling them around a bit, and he does have sort of a couple too many shades in some places and not enough in others perhaps, but he doesn't even have one on Grubby's face, which is a bit surprising. Grubby is now reviving his level 5 Blade Master, and when that's back out, that might be the changing. Oh, no, there is a shade. Sorry, I'm not sure if that just came on here. And yeah, the observers are just saying that he just needs to get mana on all his heroes, and that's really his best choice. I think if you watch my last game, actually, you'll know the power of this undead tri-hero with mana, and Grubby is back in TeD's base, but TeD sort of knew about this and is sort of trying to come back up as soon as possible now. Hasn't quite managed to take out this expansion yet, but Grubby is building a peon now. He might mine more, he might repair that first. We'll have to see exactly what strategy is. TeD reluctant to bring his Death Knight out of the range of this Black Citadel, because otherwise it could just be ensnared and surrounded and focused down, and also the Blade Master will be back very shortly, if it isn't already. Yes, it is now, and so TeD must be sort of a bit worried about where that Blade Master could be coming from, and some really, really intense play here. I think TeD really does need to get some sort of a really nice hero kill off, and then could probably pick off a couple of units, but that's sort of his best hope for winning at this point. Coil Nova immediately going off on that Torrent Chieftain. Will Sleep be used? Sleep is used on that Torrent Chieftain, and Death Knight now taking a lot of damage. Actually an invul pot on that Lich if he wants to pass it. The Torrent Chieftain is very low on health now, but the Death Knight has been surrounded, hasn't been patched, maybe he can't be fast. Oh no, the Death Knight gets away with 19 hit points, but is taken down by the Blade Master, and now the Dreadlord comes back out, and looks like he will be surrounded as well, and probably killed. So some really, really nice play there. The Torrent Chieftain actually coming back in for one more stomp, but TeD says GG funny as well, so clearly in a very enjoyable game for him, even if it was sort of a crucial game which he lost. But I really hope you enjoyed that, folks. I'll try and bring you a Undead vs Orc pretty soon. I think the STG games are just coming out now. I saw sort of the first play days worth were out, and certainly I've heard there were some very good games from that. I didn't actually get a chance to watch any of them live, but I will try and cast at least a couple of them. We'll see how good they are. Okay, yeah, thanks folks, so please comment, rate, subscribe, thanks.